This is Sadie with Busch Wild, and we are heading into the jungle to see how we can help Costa Rican wildlife through rescue, rehab, and release. Where conservation and adventure meet. Wild places, wild creatures, wild about planet Earth. We are Busch Wild. Hey everyone, this is Sadie with Busch Wild, and I'm here at Alturas Wildlife Sanctuary with Claudia, the operations manager. She was so kind to take time out of her day to tell us all about their day-to-day, what they do as a team, and some of the projects that they are working on. Claudia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's been awesome and incredible to meet some of your resident animals so far. If you want to introduce the sanctuary here, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, first of all. This is an NGO. We are non-profit, so this means we only get our funds for our volunteers and donations and tours. So I really appreciate every single person coming here and donating for us and also supporting the job we do. Our main mission is to rescue, rehabilitate, and release back to the wild the animals that live here in Costa Rica. This is very, very important because, unfortunately, because of humans, they're in danger.
Rescue, rehab, and release is the remedy for all great success stories of a wildlife sanctuary. Releasing is always the goal because every single species is playing a crucial role in the ecosystem, and their numbers truly matter.
Patients in the clinic, of course, with them, our main goal is to release back to the wild. So they can stay with us for a long period, for a short period, but the ultimate goal is to release them. And this is because we evaluate the patients as soon as they come here. We understand if their problem is like physical, behavioral, because some of the animals have been kept as pets for so long sometimes, and so they're very imprinted on humans. And so we try to understand if they are actually releasable, or if they are not, they would not be able to survive in the wild, which is absolutely important. So in case a patient is not releasable, that patient will be shifted to our sanctuary. So this is where we have all the equipment, the facilities, the enclosures to maintain animals for their entire lives and give them a life worth living.
Well, you guys have a fantastic mission of rescue, rehab, and release. Can you walk me through that process? I know every case is a little bit different, but from call to rescue to their rehabilitation program, what is that process like?
Yeah, so we have an emergency protocol for people when they call us and they need us for an emergency. So when we receive a call, we always try to ask for the people if they can bring the animal here, because it's just easier for us and quicker for the animals. But if they cannot do so, we have fully equipped car, and so we just drive there, do our best to take the animals safely here, and of course then the veterinary process begins, right? So in our clinic, if the vets are amazing and they do an incredible job, and once the animal is stabilized, it can be shifted to the rehab center. So in the rehab center, we have different enclosures where we keep animals for a short period or for long term, because some animals need to be cared for longer periods of time, of course. And once they're in good conditions and almost ready to get back to the wild, we can shift them to the pre-release area, which is down in the jungle. So we have, we try to keep the contact as low as possible, so they don't see humans, they don't get imprinted. We have some strategies that we apply. For example, we wear this red cape and face mask so they cannot recognize us, and in this way they won't associate us with food, which is very important. They don't get imprinted on humans. In this way they can be released back to the wild eventually.
Let's say someone on vacation finds an injured animal. Are you guys on the phone with them and saying, please check for X, Y, and Z? And
yes, absolutely. We always ask people to check the general conditions of the animals, if they are awake, if they're breathing, for example, and if they are in an accessible area. Because when we get there, we need to be sure that we can reach the animal and that we can actually help.
Sure.
So this is the most important thing. And then of course we always ask people to stay with the animal until we get there, because some of the animals, for example monkeys, can just run away even if they're still injured. So it's very important, like the collaboration between the person who is calling us and the staff that is answering the call.
So what I'm hearing is that no matter who you are or where you're coming from, if you live here, if you're visiting, you can be a wildlife hero.
Absolutely. Definitely. We have our emergency phone number. It's always active, and you can find it on our website and just call in case of help. We're there.
Excellent.
So the main species that we rescue here is, weird to say, but it's the common opossum.
Really?
So, yeah. This is because most of the times they come with their moms, and maybe the mom has some problems because of car strikes or other things, or dog attacks. It's also very common. And so when they come here, they have the babies in the pouch, and so this is why it's the most common. But we're not specialized on a particular animal, so we receive basically everything. Okay, so from birds, reptiles, mammals, literally everything. We're also able to receive sea turtles right now. We have a swimming pool, like a pool
we
for.
Saw the pool driving in.
Yes, exactly.
So human interaction is an ongoing issue no matter what area of the environment that we are discussing. So I wanted to hear from you, what are some of the most prevalent and frequent calls that you're getting, and what in terms of human interaction do these animals face typically?
So unfortunately, the worst part of human interactions with wildlife here is the pet trade. This is absolutely struggling, and I don't understand how people don't get that they need to stop having wildlife as pets. This is very important for us to understand. Most of the times when we get some calls from like animals being sequestered, they've been in captivity for so long that they have no chances to get back to the wild. Unfortunately, most of our animals that are resident in our sanctuary were kept as pets for a long time, so they developed unnatural behaviors and attachment toward humans, which is the reason why they're not releasable.
Right, I can imagine it would be hard for them to adjust and learn how to be a wild animal.
Exactly,
after
that's
being
impossible.
treated like a pet for so long.
Absolutely, this is a non-reversible condition, and this is why it's very important that people understand that wildlife is not pets.
The illegal pet trade in Costa Rica involves the capture, transport, and sale of wild animals from the country's diverse ecosystem for the pet market, both locally and internationally. Can you tell us what all goes into creating a habitat and providing enrichment, and why that is so important, especially in a place like Costa Rica where you have such biodiversity?
Yeah, so there's a lot of research behind all of this, because of course we welcome here different animals from different species, so mammals, birds, reptiles, everything. So of course, first of all, we need to study what's their natural environment, how they behave in the wild. We need to know in deep what we are dealing with.
Sure.
And then after doing this, we can create these enclosures that might be super tall or large, or with a lot of branches, for encourage them to develop their natural behaviors. So of course a monkey needs a lot of places where she can climb, a parrot needs to perch, a crocodile needs the pool, the peccaries need the mud. So all our environments are well studied and specifically designed for our animals.
Is there any special bond that you have here with any of the resident animals?
Well, of course, Julieta is our superstar. She's a non-releasable Amazon parrot. Unfortunately, she was kept as a pet in a hotel hall for so long that she never learned how to fly. But she's very chatty. She likes to stay around people, and everybody loves her. Chester and Festus, which are our spider monkeys.
Chester and Fester?
Yeah, Chester and Festus are amazing. Unfortunately, their story is very sad because they've been abused by their previous owner for so many years. He used to have them chained by the neck, one to each other, and use them to take pictures with tourists, which is of course super illegal and detrimental for animals. And Festus, unfortunately, has no teeth because we think the previous owner pulled them out. But right now they're living so good and I love them so much. They have this big enclosure, they stay together, and our volunteers take care of them so good. We also boil the vegetables for Festus because he has no teeth, so he needs to...
baby food.
Yes, we try to give them the best life possible, and they love us as well. So
they definitely seem like they couldn't have had a happier ending.
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. I'm hearing a lot that there's misinformation about pets versus wild animals and ways to get involved, and the line between wanting to give people this experience but also wanting them to be cautious around wildlife that they may come across here in Costa Rica or wherever they are. Can you tell us a little bit about your education programs here at Alturas and
Absolutely.
what you guys offer?
So the main way in which we try to educate the general public about the pet trade and all the difficulties that wildlife has in Costa Rica is with our tours. So our tour guides are amazing and they show around and they try to give the tourists the best experience ever in terms of learning why the animals in the sanctuary are here, what happened to them, and why it should not be like this. So this is absolutely important. We have a hands-off policy here, so tourists are definitely not allowed to pet any animals, but as well as volunteers or interns. We try to keep these animals as wild as possible. We always try to educate people on how to drive safely in Costa Rica and respect the wildlife here.
Sure.
And also, most of the times with the babies, what happens is that maybe someone calls us being like, oh, I found this baby on the ground and I just took it. And this is very important that we understand that sometimes babies are there because mom let them there and she might be around. So before grabbing a newborn or a juvenile, always make sure mom is not around and then call someone who is actually an expert about wildlife. Call us and we're gonna tell you what to do. And then another big thing we do here is enrichment programs. So when the animals are in captivity, unfortunately, sometimes they might get bored and they might not be willing to try to develop their natural instincts and behaviors. So what we try to do is to provide them with something they can do twice a day. So we give them toys or different ways to present their diets, so they can always be engaged in something that makes them busy and stimulates them to do something that is actually natural.
Absolutely. Going back to your theory of keeping them as wild as possible.
Exactly, absolutely.
We want to know what about Alturas stands out. Why should we come visit and see all the wonderful things? I don't need convincing, but if you have anything to share about how unique it is.
So the thing I'm the most proud of is that everything we do here is for the animals. Okay, so animals are at the center of our worries, of our fundraising, of our efforts. So when you come here, you can really appreciate all the job that stands around conserving, preserving wildlife.
So you mentioned earlier that you were once a volunteer here.
I was.
Yeah, you stayed on the path and have a super cool position now and live here full time, is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very cool. So it seems like you have a great volunteer program and internship program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have volunteers and interns coming from all over the world right now. So it's amazing to meet so many people of different backgrounds and cultures. What we do here is to welcoming both volunteers who do not have experience with wildlife, so they can help us with the most basic but fundamental jobs that we have here, like cleaning the enclosures, feeding the animals, preparing enrichments for our residents. And then we also have internship programs for both conservationists and vet interns.
It's incredible how big of a reach that you guys have had. Where do you feel like you're getting the word out through? How do people find out about you?
I think it's mostly through social medias, because right now we are strong in communicating through Instagram mainly, but also we have some programs for documentaries and interviews right now, for example, which is amazing. We try to reach out a lot.
And speaking of ways to help and fundraisers, do you guys have any things that you want to shout out? Any fun experiences or ways that we can help wherever we are?
Yeah, so we have an ongoing fundraising. It's always open. You can find it on our website. And we also have an Amazon wish list. So for people who cannot physically come to Costa Rica, there's always a way to donate and to help us with useful stuff, mainly for our our vets and for our nursery managers. And in any case, any single little help is more than appreciated.
Totally. Well, we will blast that link out. We are happy to help and be a part of it. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll think of a million more questions as we walk around and everything like that, but I so appreciate your time. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Pura vida.
Thanks and muchas gracias for watching. If you would like to donate to the Alturas Wildlife Sanctuary, click the link below to access their Amazon wish list. Please spread the word on how to protect our planet, and don't forget to subscribe for more of this wild content. Pura vida!